Welcome back. The TikTok CEO is currently appearing before the House Energy and Commerce Committee in the United States, where he's due to face tough questions from lawmakers who want to ban the app in the United States. We can show you some live pictures as pressure is mounting from American lawmakers and national security officials to ban TikTok over fears that the app could censor content and pass Americans' personal data to Beijing. TikTok owner ByteDance has denied the allegations that it may possibly be used to spy on Americans. There was a prior court bid to try and ban the app during the Trump era, which was struck down. Let's speak more about this with Lerato Ntwambi, social media legal consultant, who's joining us this evening. A very good evening to you, Lerato. Grateful for your time. So this, as I was just highlighting now, is an issue that's been brewing for quite a while, and it would appear to some extent that TikTok is basically stuck in the ongoing tensions between Beijing and Washington.
Absolutely, Tembegile. I think, the national threat that, the U.S. is currently, trying to argue, it might be true, but I don't think necessarily it's a fact, because there are certain things that, TikTok have done in order to ensure that they are compliant with some of the privacy laws in the USA. I mean, they invested about $1.5 billion into Project Texas, which is essentially a project which was going to build a firewall between, ByteDance, which is obviously the owner of TikTok, and obviously, where, some of the cloud or the server, which is based in the USA, which guards such personal information or information that they gather on TikTok platform.
And what is TikTok gathering, or how different is what TikTok is gathering from what other social media platforms such as Instagram, for example, use in order to work out our algorithms, basically show us things that we've looked up before in a more frequent manner?
Essentially, it's all the same, Tembegile, and I think the worry with TikTok, what they gather, obviously they gather a lot of things in terms of their default permissions that they grant you. Obviously, your microphone, your camera, your location, for example. They gather information that you obviously use to log in or to start the app. Any pictures that you take, they take, your voice, your biometric, every time you use filters. So there's a lot of information, personal information that they have of you, your date of birth. So essentially anything that you basically put to obviously create the app, as well as the default settings in terms of them accessing your phone book, for example. Also, as you've mentioned, anything that you've Googled, anything that you've searched, going to a point obviously also of clipboard. So anything that you have essentially copied from somewhere else, maybe you wanted to, post it elsewhere. That is the type of information that they are gathering. And essentially, I think the biggest issue or elephant in the room here is that Meta, which is a US-based company, has been losing a lot of revenue because of TikTok. So TikTok is an essential, it's a big competition for some of the big US giants. It currently has 150 US, active users in the USFA. So I think also that's another consideration that we have to obviously take into regard, that it's competition, and it's, Meta has obviously also felt the pinch of TikTok losing a lot of revenue because TikTok essentially, gathers so much information at a short space of time, and a lot of people, active users, making it one of the most downloaded apps in the world.
You told us earlier about the measures that TikTok has tried to introduce to allay these concerns around security, but I would imagine proving that the Chinese government does not have access to the user data is what would be most difficult, would it not?
I think it definitely will be, because essentially, the projects that are in place essentially want to obviously, ensure or basically, create the essence that obviously they're trying as much as they can to obviously adhere to some of the laws. But I think the USA is pushing TikTok to obviously sell their platforms. Essentially, if they don't sell it to a US owner or investor, then essentially they might be banned, which takes me back to the point that is it really about the national threat of security? Because essentially, Meta, Google, most of these platforms take the data, and I think any platform, social media platform that sells their data to third party, that poses a threat, whether it's TikTok, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Google. As soon as they take our personal information and sell it to third parties, that already poses a risk.
All right. Lerato Dwanbe, social media consultant. Good to speak to you. Thank you so much.